Yeah. Welcome to the show. Your mom could be a nice person, maybe not a nice person. Rumblebean, you're not a nice person for knocking Tully's cooler off the table.
There's nothing of any real significance in there.
He's clearing it out. It's a sale. We're selling all Tully's food and beverages.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, the blowout is underway.
It's got to go. And it's going to go today.
Who will be the proud owner of this multi-purpose Tupperware container?
I love Tupperware.
I like this particular brand of Tupperware. It's Aussie, actually.
Yeah.
I prioritize buying this brand, which has been discontinued. You could be the proud owner. It's up to you. Do you want me to clean it, or do you want to have signature peanut butter and jelly residue from your boy?
That does make it
I know.
better.
It's going to sweeten the pot for somebody.
There's some big news, Michael.
Okay.
It's breaking.
Wow.
But it might not be breaking because I can't find the button for that. I mean, we did for sure have that, right?
We for sure did.
Well, that's
a given. I'm trying to think.
I didn't imagine that we had a breaking news button that we played for 20 years.
I'm trying to imagine I'm trying to think when is the last time that I heard that. So I could not.
We never really break news anymore, huh?
No, we don't. Weird. Very breaking news-ish, and yet not the breaking news button.
This is what I found on YouTube.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
Wait, you thought that was me?
Yeah, I thought you hit a button and that came up.
Mine's got way more authority on it.
Yeah, right. I was wondering why it was so quiet.
Yeah, I got
That was a very local news.
Yeah, that so's ours.
Yeah.
Every now and again, people would send us stuff where literally their local news had gone into the same sound bank and used the same.
Our breaking news?
Yes.
Well, our breaking news became somebody else's. So we made our own that changed the game of breaking news to the point where I'm like, I cannot accept that breaking news that Zach just played, and it wasn't a bad breaking news. It was
just wasn't the right one.
It's just our breaking news is like, oh, wow, like something really is happening. You know?
Right.
Well, I guess we'll never know now.
Huh.
Let me try another one.
Maybe news will break another day.
Yeah. That's the best way to look at it, Michael.
Yeah. That's kind of breaky. It's a little newsy.
I'm not feeling like I really want to break any news with that, to be honest, you know. It doesn't seem like...
Ooh, that's a bit more momentous.
It's just not loud.
It is to everybody but us.
Right, I don't like that.
I know.
I'm against that.
We've been playing ball. Zach, you're aware of that, right? That's been. I think that predates your time here. But
yeah.
We just play ball. We react to things like we can actually hear them when you play them, even though we really can't.
No, we're not really involved with what everyone else is doing.
That's right.
And
how much they give to you guys?
It's starting to tick me off, to be honest. You know, I think it's enough. I think we need somebody to rearrange this whole studio. But obviously that would require a lot more people subscribing.
Well, we're off to a great start now because we're live on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
Which is why I'm refraining for now from talking about my hardcore X-rated exploits from this weekend.
Because usually that's how you start the show.
Usually I'm like, let me tell you where this thing got dipped.
Right.
Answer 3 may surprise you.
Yeah. This thing got dipped. That's so stupid.
Hear all about Tully's exploits only on Patreon.com.
Yeah, if you want to know where I dipped it, you'll have to sign up.
Look, I'm just going to tell you, all right? Death Death Die is back.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty excited, aren't you?
I'm surprised this is how I'm finding out.
Right, no, you think you'd already know. But
Yeah.
you do.
Okay.
Yeah, you knew this whole time. We've been talking about it.
We have.
Yeah, remember?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it again.
We are.
We're going to play live.
We are.
We're not doing another album.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay. No, you know, because we talked about that.
Yeah.
But we're going to bring the band back.
Okay.
We're going to perform live
All right. Where? When?
in front of an audience.
Well, I assumed as much. Yeah. We're not just going to like Beatles it and go up on a roof somewhere and.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, that would.
You get arrested.
Yeah, we would definitely.
We're more vulgar and the Beatles were popular.
Yeah, no. When we
Like-
start, everyone's be like, no.
Yeah.
When they start, it was like, oh, wow, cool.
Is that the Beatles?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd be arrested before the roadie got the first amp on the roof.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's this happening?
I don't know yet. You know,
Oh, I see.
Still just, with just this official, I was telling I did Awesome Mode earlier. People that want to listen to a bunch of shows, patreon.com/Ellis, mate. That's where we do a bunch of shows. Jason R show still exists, believe it or not. Crazy, right?
There's a trove, an endless. You could listen to it if you have not been to the Patreon. You could listen to it every waking moment for probably a year before you run out of new stuff.
And the old stuff from the satellite days is on there.
That's right.
So you can listen to that stuff. It's like, where's Raw Dog? I'm like, just go to the archives.
Yes.
He's right there.
He lives. He's trapped in there forever.
He can never get out.
Right.
So
Quantum leaping around in the past.
that's what he's doing. I was thinking
Okay.
that Jace would do a live rock show. Gotta do it, bro.
So tell me more
Person was
about.
thinking about it.
Tell me more about.
Okay,
Is
so
this as far as you've gotten?
well, you know me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking yesterday to my lovely girlfriend, and
Yeah.
she was like, "I sing," and I was like, "Yeah, no, I've heard."
Right.
And she was like, "I've recorded some stuff." I was like, "Oh yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, you want to hear it?" And I was like, "Yes, I want to hear it."
Of course.
And I was thinking, I've heard her sing along to a song in the car, and I'm like, "Yeah, all right, she's not tone deaf. Congratulations." But she wasn't really belting. She was just sort of like quietly singing in the car. Mm-hmm. But she played this song where I was like, what the hell? Like, you have a real proper singing voice. Like, like I was saying, like American Idol, just some chick. Whoa, and you're like, okay, yeah, like,
Yep.
I'm not, I'm not saying you're Janis Joplin or anything. I'm just saying.
Everybody can sing. You are a singer.
Right. It was clearly that, and I was like, there's no way you recorded this with like, some prop, like you didn't get altered, like that's you. And I was like, what the hell? Like you don't do that? Like what? You could do that for a living. Like you're really good. And somehow it went to, I was joking about, I sing. And she was like, yeah, I've heard the Teen Stick song or whatever. And I was like, we had other albums, right? And she was like, no. I was like, Death Death Die. She's like, oh, I remember you saying that name, but I don't know what it is. So I just started playing I don't know.
So many hits. Where to
So
start?
many, yeah,
Right.
like the Ninja Flying Eagles thing. Because I was bringing up,
Your big fat hairless balls.
no. She was aware of those.
Funny story, actually.
Man, I'm blanking out. The female Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa Donnelly. Yeah,
Lisa. I was like, she was the first person that like sang near me where it made me do better because of how good she was. And I think I was like, all right, so sound more like that, and when she was complimentary, it meant more whether it was true or not, because I was like, she's really good. And she's saying like, you got a voice, like, if you worked at it, you'd be good at it. And I was like, oh, thank you. It meant a lot. Amazing person and singer, but
Absolutely.
I was like, you should hear it. That's what made me play it, because she does the Death Death Die thing, and I was like, that's you could do that.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And she's like, who is the other person singing? I'm like, it's me. She's like, that's you. And I was like, yeah. And then I played the album, most of it, because I was like, they're all different songs. It's a concept album, like, the person that kind of made the band, the music, the ideas, Christian Hand, and he was like, we're doing a concept album. And I was like, I don't even really know what that means. And sometimes I remember I was like, I don't really like this song. And he was like, that's not the point. Like, we're doing different things. You're doing different voices to like kind of match the vibe of the song. And she was like, I'm really impressed by how many different ways you're singing songs on this. Like, you're pretty good. You guys should do that again. And I was like, yeah, no. And she was like, why not? And I was like, it's not as easy as you think. Like, it's like there's people that are like really mad. There's one person really that is really mad at me, and I can't really do it to myself. To Adam, shout out to Adam, $20. I would buy donuts, but I'm a bit fat.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you. But she was like, well, couldn't you just do it without him? And I was like, yeah, I guess. I just never really... Yeah, it's sort of been, since the serious days, I've obviously become a stand-up comedian and been pretty serious about that and given most of my time to that. And then, financial, sobriety, just sort of... just make it, make it till tomorrow. That's kind of the thing. And I'm like, that would be... playing the songs and not hearing them for such a long time. I was like, oh, wow. It's crazy how many songs we did that were... She was like, these are all, like, really good. She's like, it's crazy you don't talk about... Like, you don't act like you had anything to do with any of this ever. And I'm like, yeah, because it's gone. Like, I don't... I forgot that I had anything to do with it ever. So that's... I would never bring it up because it's not even in my head. Because I sort of just cut it off,
I get it.
So, and she was like, you should bring it back. And I'm like, it's a lot of work. And she's like, why is it a lot of work? And I'm like, I guess if I, would have to, rehearse, and I'd have to find a bass player and a drummer. And I'm like, I do know a bass player. I'm pretty sure I could solve that in one phone call because Blasco would be in a second. I know he would be. But, there's time and everybody's got to meet. Everyone's got to rehearse. I got to get a gig, like, hey, that Die's getting back together. Like, nobody cares about that.
Yeah, the streets are not going to be a buzz.
The Roxy's not going to be like, oh, man,
yeah,
welcome back. But could it be done? Yeah, totally could be done.
I agree with that. And I would say that I think if you sort of, because, obviously there was post Death Die, there was Tiger Box performance where Tane Stick and Death Die songs were performed. And I think as long as I'm guessing where this, obviously you're springing this on me, but I would think I would be comfortable reaching out to everybody in the band and being like, this is a thing that is going to happen. If you want to take part, we can totally try to make that work. If not, I hope you understand. We just want to play the songs and you don't want to do it, so we're gonna do it. I don't think that's...
I never thought of that.
I don't think that that's a crazy thing, even if you had to call it something different. I don't know.
Why would I have to call it different?
If somebody is going to be upset about that's not really...
Right, but if they're upset about it...
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's not...
If you care to avoid that...
You're not going to take me to court.
If you... No, of course not. Of course not. There's... Yeah. Yeah, well...
Look, I'm worried about that part because I don't want... I'm at a point in my life where, like, if it's going to be drama, I'm not going to be a part of it.
No, I totally
I think
agree.
You're kind of...
Oh, my God.
Right. Yeah. And I just know that, like, you've always been grounded. I have not been, and I've admitted it several times. But I'm pretty casual these days, Like, even people that I've been friends with for a long time that have done things lately where I'm like, I'm not mad at them, but I'm just sort of distancing myself from that because I'm like... Well, if that's the way you want to go, that's fine, but I don't want to be a part of that. And it's, for all kinds of different reasons, but they all revolve around my mental health. Like I like my life and I don't want to be pulled into that. And like the last time I taught the Christian, it wasn't good, dude.
I believe that.
And I'm like, I said earlier on Awesome One, I'm like, people change. I have changed. Maybe he has. I know.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
But maybe he hasn't.
Our last contact was brief but pleasant. That's all I can say.
Right. Well, my last contact, I can't really remember. I feel like it was... I know that our face-to-face was terrible.
Yeah.
And then there was phone calls because we were going to do a show. and he was talking to Brianna. He was really friendly with Brianna.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. And then it was, I think it all got blew up because of Kevin. And I'm like, well, Kevin's not in the band. Never was.
Yeah. Right, but I think
I don't have any. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know.
He teamed up with him. But I really, I said on Awesome Mode, I'm like, I hate saying this, but I'm like, things would have to be going really bad for me for him to like me.
I see what you mean.
Like if I lost an arm or I had like 6 months to live, then I think he'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he just is gonna hate me for the rest of his life. And also, like the show, I don't want people to yell at people at the show. Like I don't want to have a rehearsal where somebody's being really mean to somebody else.
Yeah.
While we're rehearsing.
Sure.
And I'm worried that that's like a thing that's always going to happen with him.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm there and I'm like, look, I'm doing this because I forgot how crazy it is that we actually were in a band that was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And we could play it again for people. I know if we went to Canada, if we went to Alberta, we would have a big venue to do it.
See, that's what I was going to say.
But that's a lot of money.
I understand that.
Because I'm talking about doing an Ellis Mania in Alberta right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my team is like, that's a lot of money for a ring and all this kind of stuff, and maybe doing a smaller version, like a couple fights not in a ring, and then doing maybe some tiger box. And I was like, because I brought up all the things that I used to be able to do, and Alberta just doesn't seem like they have changed. I did comedy, dude. I sold out 5 shows in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I don't know, a couple 100 seats 5 times.
Yep.
If you had one night.
Yep.
That's that's like
that's exactly
the math read between the lines.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Obviously, it costs more money to do it there and to move things there.
Flying us all there.
Yeah, of course. But on the other hand, if you're going to sell 10 times as many tickets there,
yeah,
then yeah, that was.
Then also Vegas has changed now. The people that have banned me from doing Ellis Mania left the athletic commission, and now you can do my fights in Vegas because Fight Circus did my fights last weekend at the Palms.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said anything. Mm-hmm. I don't think too many people went either.
Should try and get booked on outdoor comedy festivals up here. Trailer Park Boys had their band play after doing stand-up this summer. Well, that's interesting.
Yes, Trailer Park Boys have a band. That's awesome.
Yeah, why not? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's actually not a crazy thought.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting in a tape for Netflix. What is it? Their festival.
Oh, yeah?
See if I can get on there.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I believe it when I see it, but it is gonna. I'm talking to people, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm just at this point now where organizing things, even the fights, like for a while there, I think it was people wanted me to do it, and I was like, well, then I'll do it. And I was like, not that many people really want me to do it, just like the loud people want me to do it. And I don't really want to do it, I don't hate it, but I definitely got a bad taste in my mouth from like all the fights and things that happened, like it's a weird thing to look back at where I was like, man, yes, it was crazy successful at times, but man, they were like really, and I'm not blaming everybody. I'm saying me, like freaking out. There was like really crazy accusations of people were drugging people's drinks and people's girlfriends or whatever kind of girlfriends were like, I need to make apologies. And I'm like, wait, what did I do? And you've ruined my life. And I'm like, wait, I ruined your life from the band? Like it was a lot, and I don't think I was in a stable place to handle those accusations. And I think I got high and ran away from it. And then like over a period of time, I would have flashes of this and just be like, oh, I will never put myself in that spot again. But now being in such a more stable position, like people that if you do freak out, like it's not going to be my fault and I'm not going to take it I mean, I'm not going to accept it as it is my fault, unless it was. But I just think, like, if, like I forgot to show up or something, okay, that's never going to happen either. But if it did, I'd be like, okay, my bad. I would take full responsibility. But when it comes to, like, ruining anybody's career or making something difficult, like, I'm just not. I know what I've done in my life, and the people that I've done things where I was like, dude, that deserves an apology. I've made an apology, And that's the end of that. So, like, bringing back everybody would be... it does worry me. That's all I'm saying. It does worry me a little bit. I just don't want to have somebody have a big freak out, and I'm like, dude, you knew that was going to happen, Like... But I think, Michael, you are right when it's like you should at least reach out and ask them, and then I think you're gonna get an understanding pretty quickly of how it's gonna go before we pull any triggers. Mm-hmm. I think that the person I'm worried about, if they're like, yeah, but let me tell you one thing first, and I'll be like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna tell me one thing. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna tell me anything. You're gonna be super happy about doing it, or you're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Right. To me, I just am going to say it again. Like, no, you're not going to get sued, and I think that you maybe are a little bit more territorial about the name or whatever, but as somebody who's just trying to maximize pleasure and minimize unnecessary bullshit, if it needed to be, there's a Jason Ellis Show event, and we are getting on stage and playing some songs, including songs from Death, Death, Die, and Taintstick, as opposed to Death, Death, Die and the logos. And like, it's just like the name is not that important to me.
I agree.
If it matters to somebody else, it doesn't matter to me.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why
I made up Horse Force.
I love Horse Force.
Yeah. We could do that.
I love Horse Force.
I might even rather that.
I wrote a song.
You did. I remember.
But I can't did it just become The Woodsman? Because I remember, like, for the last album, because it does have that gallop. No, I don't think so.
No.
Because I remember for the last album, I did write, like, 2 songs musically that I felt pretty strongly about, and neither of them was Horse Force. But yeah, I was always down with Horse Force. Yeah.
So we could do that.
Yeah. Somebody sent me on my Discord, they went to some, like, record store or whatever and found not just a Taintstick album, but a sealed Taintstick album with, like, the sticker on it.
Oh, yeah?
Unopened, vintage Taintstick. Isn't that crazy? Like, recently.
Yeah, I don't, there's no way I have that.
I actually have, like, a couple copies of everything, and they're in a box. I know exactly what box they're in. I can see the box. It's just, like, wedged behind a thing, behind a thing, behind a thing, and it's going to be a project for me to get it out. And I don't know, every time I'm like, it's so far down. There's always something that kind of, like, I needed to, like, clean my house this weekend. There's always something that needs to happen. By the time I get to that, it's so far down my list of responsibilities. I'm like, let me go get that. Oh, right. That's why I haven't gotten it before.
I don't know if
they're there.
I'm less attached to that stuff than ever. I was thinking of selling I have all my old skateboard pro models from when I was coming up in the game.
Yeah.
And I was telling Jules might sell it on the internet, just to, like, clean out the garage and make some money.
Yeah.
And she was like, we got to keep one of each. And I was like, why? And she was like, because that's, like, something that you can keep forever. And I'm like, they're not on the wall. They're never going on the wall.
Yeah.
My kids are never going to put them on the wall. Why? Like, can I just take a photo of
That's
it?
what I was going to say. Get Blayback to come by and take a good photo of each
like,
of them.
that's the end of it. Like, what, am I going to go in the garage when I'm 70 and be like, oh, like, I won't. Because I'm already, if I'm going to have a memorabilia moment where I go back and look at it, like, there's boxes in there that I've moved. I've have to open them.
Yeah.
I've seen Death, Death, Die CDs in there. Cool. I'm not mad at it.
Right.
But do I need one that, like, unwrapped? I'll tell you what I'd rather do. I'd rather sell it to somebody that goes, man, I love this board. I always wanted this board and putting it on the wall.
Yeah.
It's Ellis's board.
Right.
And you like it and you keep it on the wall. My garage is, like, half full of stuff I used to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't take it with you. You know, like, when I'm gone,
mm-hmm.
Is anybody going to go, man, I want everything in there to, like, put up? No,
mm-hmm.
You're not old Blue Eyes, dude. Like, nobody cares, and that's fine. But it's like I could move. You know what I'd rather? Go in the garage and there's nothing. You know me, dude. I would like it to be like toolbox.
Yeah.
You know, like some bikes, some snowboards, stuff I'm gonna use and that I can get to because there isn't a bunch of crap piled over the top of it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's so over the top in there.
I get it because like every time we travel, my wife always remarks like, look at how little we for 2 weeks, look at what we've lived with. And has there ever been any point where you're like, man, I really wish I had that? Like, yeah, if I was at home, like I really wish I had like a knife or a spatula. Like, yeah, of course. Okay. But think about, and she's talking to the kids of like all of the toys, all of the stuffed animals, all the shit that you need. Like, has there been any, and like you say it and you're like, yeah, it's right, man. We have all got too much stuff, you know, but it's like, I can tell when there's a certain frequency when she brings shit up where it's like, oh, we're getting rid of all of our shit, aren't we? Like we're getting down to like we are actually starting to feel overwhelmed by but I like that shirt and I've got this. The thing is, I got the space for it. It's just it starts to add up and I can kind of feel like a colonic of stuff coming on.
Weird choice of words, but yep.
And everything, you know, like I got a couple of coffee mugs because those are the coffee mugs that I like because I got that one there and that one there. And I'm like, or maybe just don't have any of it. I mean, you know, I need a coffee mug, but you know what I'm saying.
I need 3. Sometimes I got 2 dirty ones.
Yeah, that's about the right number.
And I don't want to, you know, it's in the washing machine, dishwasher. But yeah, I've always been like that. When I used to move, I would give stuff or have like a garage sale, and you know, Ellis fam would come over and take stuff, and I've never moved and gone, why did I do that? You know?
Yeah.
You know, the only time somebody wants to like, hey, I took your license plate from your house, and I'm like, that's my actual license plate. Why did you take that?
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll send it back.
Yeah.
But that was like, for legal purposes,
of course,
I wanted to have
of course, that's my driver's license, my wallet. Yeah, no, that's different. I even like, you know, I just save little mementos from things, and they're 2 very different categories now. There's like my shit from when I was younger and more recent stuff.
They were on YouTube.
Thank you. I forgot.
It's like the 5th one.
And then I'll stop now. And then there's the stuff with the kids, and those are 2 very different categories. And I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the kid stuff when I get older. But I'm not going to leave that to chance. I'm going to keep that stuff. But I know that because I did go through and do podcasts where I went through all old mementos, being like, oh, there's this thing from this. There's a story with that. And I didn't hate them, but it didn't fill my heart with joy to take this trip down memory lane. It was like, yeah, there's my old stuff. I kind of feel like I already did it once, and I don't really know that when I'm 70, it's going to be this real, like, you know, this is your life prize at the end of the yellow brick road.
Butterball says he still has my couch. Is that your couch or my couch? Probably my couch, right? Did I give my couch away?
I believe you would have. I'm going to guess, was that like a Santa Monica couch?
Oh, wow. I have a coffee mug, and I don't even drink coffee. Nice. The book, someone's asking about the book.
Is there anywhere to buy the last book? I think you had the whole
I sold them all.
Stack of those.
I sold them all at meet and greets on my comedy show. Speaking of comedy shows, November 6th in Las Vegas at Wise Guys. If anybody's in the Nevada world, come see the show. But yeah, we were stuck with a lot of those books. They didn't sell. And then when I started doing stand-up and touring, people bought them. Man, that's the thing. Like doing Alice Mania or doing Death Death Die or Horse Force or whatever. If I had a choice, like even if I did a special, which I'm working on, it's somewhere in Canada. Just because of the love I get, it's like, why would you not do it where people want to see you the most? That or Denver. I don't know why or how that makes any sense, but Denver on a Wednesday night, I sold it out. And I don't understand what happened there.
Did you feel like it was a bunch of fans of you or fans of comedy?
Fans of me.
Okay.
I got a standing ovation
Yeah.
when I walked out.
Oh, okay. Because
I was like, what is...
Because I
what?
know a lot of people are a huge fan of that venue, just saying it's like the best place to do comedy. So I was wondering if a lot of people have that.
I mean, I saw a lot of Wolf Knife stuff.
Well, then that's
crowd.
yeah,
but that doesn't mean everybody there was, you know? It
Yeah.
was just like maybe the front people were.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely... And just ready to laugh.
Yeah.
You know? Like, as soon as I started, I was like, whoa, I don't really believe that was that funny, but okay, like, then wait till you hear, like, my actual joke. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
Same with Big J audiences, too, man. Those guys love me.
That's great.
Yeah,
Makes
those
sense.
were good shows. Probably the best show, best 25 minutes I've done in my life. You know, obviously I'm punchy, and I don't know, but the first one, maybe the second one, where I was like, I don't know if I can do much better than that right now. That's it. Yeah, I was pretty pumped. Usually I'm like, yeah, man, good job. But that one I was like, whoa. And that's what I was talking on Awesome One about, trying to get shows, you know, Improv and Laugh Factory and Comedy Store. And it's just really hard to get our spot, you know. And I was talking to Sam about it, Sam Tripoli. And he was like, dude, you're already a national headliner. Like, people want to get those spots so that they can get to where you are already at. You're there. I'm like, yeah, but I want to. He's like, I know. You want to be there in the thing doing stuff. And I was like, it's like, you know, when I became a pro skateboarder, it's like you're a pro skateboarder and you can't ride the ramp. I can only ride the ramp if I go out of state.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's crazy. You know, I'm home and I can't get on the ramp. You won't let me on the ramp. I'm dying to get a ride, you know? I'm not doing it for any reason than I want to do comedy. And it's like, as far as I can tell right now, I did get reached out to some people and I got some spots coming up at like, you know, like a hostel and some of the little venues, but it was either open mic or nothing. That's what I know about LA.
Is it the hostel? It's like right up there in Hollywood. I did a show at
I don't know.
a hostel.
I don't know, but
It was challenging.
I was just like, it's if there's people there watching and it's not a bunch of drunk comedians, like 8 people.
Yeah.
Because no offense, but I'm just past that.
No. Of course you are.
I need like humans.
Yeah. I'm not telling you not to do it. I think you should take absolutely any show until you go and say, oh, okay, that's why I wouldn't do that one again.
Yeah.
My experience, I did a show and I booked a guy, and so he gave me a spot as a thank you, and it was this thing he did at a hostel, and there was very, very few people there. And I wasn't getting laughs, but it was a different kind of not getting laughs. It was a real blank stare, and I was like halfway through, and I said, how many of you speak English?
Yeah, that sounds like because she said that there's people that don't speak English, and I was like, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I'm into, you know, I want to be challenged because I know that there'll be a joke that I come up with because of it. Mm-hmm. And I can use that when there's actual people that are there to laugh.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I just want work, man. You know, like I know how to be good at things. It's, you know, it's not sitting on your ass. Mm-hmm. You know, you go and also realizing, you know, I have resting bitch face. I look scary. You know, I work very hard on it, and I'm not approachable, and I'm not a networker or a butt licker, and that is something that I am changing so that I can be accepted in the community. You know, because I've noticed that you can, you know, especially at this point, I'm good enough now. I'm good enough to go up anywhere. I can hold my own. But nobody's trying to get me up because they're like, I don't know, that guy seems pretty pissed most of the time. And in their defense, I have been depressed for like 3 years. You know, I'm finally like, I'm pretty happy with not like just a day. You know, I think there was a time there where I forced myself to get up and get in the car and go. And I hated it. I hated being around people. I hated talking to people. I just wanted to cry. Like I really was, dude. Like really suffering with like. I don't know how else to say it. Like hardcore depression. Like I was depressed about everything. I was ready to cry at any moment and just go back to feeling sorry for myself. It was like I would like lift, to me, mental weights. Go out, put on a face and then go home and be miserable again, which means, especially now I'm starting to understand, the face that I was putting on wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy to read through it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's a pretty good definition of, there's a lot of different good definitions of depression, but one of them is when you constantly need to, like, you have to be fake to function in regular society, and you can't wait to get through that so you can just go home and stop putting a good face on it, which I've had, my share of tough times, and with kids, it's just like, of course, nobody is going to be perfect and perfectly balanced and perfectly happy all the time around their kids, but they also don't deserve to, if you're having a crappy day or week or month or year, at a certain point you can't take it out on a 7-year-old, so you just go, I'm going to be a normal dad until they leave me alone.
Right, which is kind of
it's tough.
Because now I'm really happy and my kids don't want to be around me because they're like adults and they have a car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you guys do? And they're like, not hanging out with your dad. That's
nothing by you.
I'm like, right, fair enough.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do about it.
You want to hang out? Actually, I'd rather do nothing.
I know. Yeah. And they'll say it nicely, but I know what it means. What are you doing today? Nothing. You want to drive my car?
Oh, did I say nothing?
Actually, I got to go.
I was going to watch a YouTube video on carpentry.
And then I saw a photo and he was with his friends taking because he's got a cool car and some of his friends do. So they like park places and take photos of their cars together. And I'm like, it's way cooler than hanging out with your dad.
Of course it is.
Like, I get it. I'm not mad,
Yeah. I just envision a future in which we just put a quota on our kids. Like, this is on your calendar. You owe me this. Someday you're going to want you used to really want stuff from me. Someday you're going to want something from me again. This is when you have to hang out with us, and phones away. Yeah. And other than that, you can make your true feelings about me known.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw their mother took my daughter to London this week. I was like, that's cool, I think old me would have been sad about it because I can't afford to do that and I'm not there. I'm like, it's girls, like you did a girls trip to another country. Like, Devin's stoked,
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, man. I don't care if it's me, just as long as she's having a good life. It's not about me. It's about how much fun she can have with her life, and her mum's kicking ass. I'm very proud of both of them. But I was thinking about in meetings the other day about what to be grateful for. Because I'm always sort of asking myself that. It's a part of my 12-step program. But I was going to say the other day, I was kind of get grateful for like bad stuff, because all the things that happened to me that were bad turned out to be really helpful. Like all these things that I've like started to catch lately. Like sometimes some of it's really dark and I don't want to do it here, but some things that had happened are really bad that gave me drive to do something that turned out to be, one of the more successful stories of a human in life. Like very cool things happened because I was able to withstand the bad parts of life because it wasn't that bad to me. But then even, like one of the most traumatic experiences of my life was Sirius XM letting me go. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was going to be a radio guy until I died. That was my plan. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got into stand-up.
Yeah.
And now, my feeling towards stand-up, look, who knows? In 20 years, maybe I'm like, oh, who cares? But right now, I've never been more excited about doing a job, and the bad parts of the job just outweigh every other job I've ever had. Like the bad parts of skateboarding and fighting and radio, they were some tough stuff, like the pain, the fear, anxiety of being knocked unconscious. Oh, it's stressful. You're like, oh, just hovering over you. You're like clammy. And that's like a regular thing where you're like, oh, I hope it works out. And then you make it, and obviously it's like, yeah. But man, like the yeah is, it's like 5% of the game. It's like 75%. Oh, hope I don't break my leg today. It's like, dude, bro, I'm gonna break my leg today. You get used to it, but now that I'm older, I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
That's not something you want to be
used to. Femur
to.
could break today. Like, I'm not interested in that. Like when I was going to drop into that Tim Pool skate park thing, it reminded me of like, oh, dude, this was your life.
Yep.
This is a horrific feeling. I gotta go. Now you do comedy. You do bad at comedy. You're not going to the ER. You just drive home a bit sad. It's fine. But if it wasn't for comedy, I wouldn't have met my girlfriend. I worked on comedy, got fired for serious, worked on comedy, got good enough at comedy where, this chick was like, he's pretty funny. I'm going to slide into his DMs. Boom. Boom. She baked cookies yesterday. Boom. I'm on fire, Michael. Absolute fire.
I ate so much chocolate yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Why?
This weekend. Because we do a trick-or-treating thing in our little townhouse community for all the kids. And I'm not drinking.
Do you go to corn mazes?
No.
Do you know what they are?
I think so.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that, because I got pointed out that I'm like a dumbass for not knowing what a corn maze is. Apparently that's like a thing.
Yeah, I think it's more of a thing where they have corn.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
There's one down the street, like seriously, 1 block.
Yeah, I believe that. Oh, I know exactly where you mean. Yeah.
Off the freeway.
But those are like fake ones, because I think most people just are like, okay, we've already harvested all the fall corn. Those are just going to sit there until new corn ears grow in the spring. So in the meantime, what good is this field to us? We could make a creepy maze for the kids to go through. But these ones are taking that idea and just sticking them next to a freeway where they had to bring the stalks in, or because I more often around here see they'll make hay mazes, hay bales, because those are a little bit more portable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
because that's what I was talking to my girlfriend about. I'll do it. I don't care. About reversing me balls and making a baby.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
hear great things about reverse vasectomies.
What?
I hear it's like so incredibly painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got to snip the burn part off and then stitch up the part. Is that what they do?
I would assume,
So
right.
I was trying
Right,
to
they put a kink into so that would make
They would
sense.
cut that out,
They
right?
would cut that out and
sew
reconnect.
it?
I remember one time in my band, our guitar players, the drummer hit a cymbal and the cymbal came flying off, and all of a sudden the guitar cut out because it literally just fell and sliced his guitar cable.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed that his dad, like, this is the way we grew up. Nowadays, you just go on Amazon and buy another one.
Yeah.
His dad sewed it back together, and it was like a foot shorter.
And it worked.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's insane.
He must have just been so bored and wanted to get away from his. There was a lot of like real tense anger in that family, so maybe he was just happy to have a project to maybe
He's focused on something besides his life.
exactly. So that, I guess, is how that goes. But I feel like I only know of two people who have reversed the stream, and one of them is Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah.
And I think you can ask.
Wait, Birdman did it?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I gotta call him.
You got to call him. And I know that the person that I knew personally was saying, yeah, it was very swollen and very, 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 very uncomfortable. And boy, the whole joke is, boy, do I really love you, to the chick, because of the extreme discomfort that I endured. Of course, I'm sure it's nothing compared to childbirth. I see. But yeah, so with the kids, we do ask them.
Please leave your message.
Traveling the world.
Yeah, for sure.
James, shout out. Yes, James, I will keep going. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes,
we do trick or treating, and I'm not drinking these days because it just doesn't. I don't really want to. I want to everything. There is a season. It's just not what's going on right now. I'm exercising a bunch. I lost so much weight. I actually went like under my target weight.
Sounds like you're ready to be in a band again, Mike.
Pretty much. I'm heroin chic. And then the weekend comes and there's just bowls of every kind of, there's little Snickers and little Milky Ways, and I just go, yeah, I want one of those. Yeah, I want one of those. Yeah, I want one of those. And I might have had 30 little pieces of chocolate yesterday, and I did the same thing on Saturday.
Let's get back to the bowls and how painful that is.
Yeah, sure. I mean, does anybody have any?
Is there anybody listening that had a reverse vasectomy? I can't believe this conversation is happening, but
I can.
I was like, wait, why can you?
Because it's very you.
I knew me asking, and your answer was going to be super entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, I feel like this is how this stumbled on me, right? Like when I was single and I was dating people and I was like dating sites and stuff, and it was like girls that have kids. Men don't want to date women that have kids, and I was like, it's a very childish angle where
Is it?
Let me hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't want to take care of a child. Why not? Like, to me, it would be an honor to raise a human, because I think at this point now, my experiences and how, like, where I'm at mentally, that I could help raise a good girl or a good boy.
Yeah.
You know, like at one point,
My girl, my boy.
I don't think I was good at it.
Uh-huh.
You know, obviously I do. My kids know I love them. You
Yeah.
know, like I did give that across, but man, I did. You know, I was not stable. I did things, you know, like divorce and
Sure.
you know, terrible display of you know, what a husband should be. So, like, you know, I'm not good by any means, but at this point I am, and I'd be, you know, like, I know what's important in my life. Like, it would be cool to be cool. I would love to be, you know, 1 million followers on TikTok, and I sell tickets every night, and I get to go to the Comedy Store, and I fly around the world selling out venues. That would be awesome, man. I would love that. But what is important is to be a good father and a good husband or a boyfriend or a good friend. That's what's important to me. Every now and then I get carried away and I drift off and go, oh man, TikTok. But most of the time I'm grounded on, like, what is the coolest, most important thing that I can do in my life? Be a good dad. That's pretty much it for me. I can't think of a more important thing. You know, can I be a good boyfriend? Yeah. But number one is, can you be there? Can your kids know they can count on you? Yeah, that's the most important thing. So would I do it again now? And I've always sort of thought, like, you're a man. And I'm not trying to be insulting to anybody. If you don't want to go over somebody because they got another kid, good, great, fine. Yeah, if you don't want to go over somebody because they got red hair, good, great. You know, whatever reason, I don't care. But to me, it's a boy's angle. You know, because you don't want another child. You don't want a child around because it's too much responsibility. Also, fair. Like, if that's the thing that you don't want to do, great. But to me, it would be an honor to do it, and I also understand the amount of work that would take. And it hit me pretty hard yesterday when, one, I'm talking about reverse vasectomies, and two, we go past that thing and I go, hey, what's a corn maze? Mm-hmm. And Jules goes, wait, you've never seen a corn maze? I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. She's like, oh, you know, it's like a maze. Kids go for Halloween. I was like, oh. And I'm thinking for a second, I go, if we had a kid, would you be excited about going to the corn maze? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, would you really? And she was like, you wouldn't have to go. And I go, wow, very interesting, because I'm going. And she's like, you wouldn't want to go? And I'm like, right now, if you go, do you want to go in that corn maze? My answer is no. I do not want to go.
No, that's right.
See how I caught that?
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube.
I'm back.
But would I go if I had a kid? Yeah. Would it be fun? Yeah, because I want to see their
Yes.
fun.
You see,
know, like
you see it through their eyes. That's exactly right.
But I think at one point it would be like, well, if I go to the corn maze, you know, I can't get high right now. And that's going to block like a couple of hours of me getting high, which is kind of sad.
It requires taking joy in other people's joy. Yeah.
It's so, which is also such a slap in the face of like, dude, you were not a great guy. You know, I know it's not like a malicious on purpose thing, but dude, the drugs and alcohol and whatever it is you use, you know, they just make you prioritize stuff where you don't even see it. Like, I never saw it. I never analyzed, you're making this choice because you're a bad parent. I never said that. If I said that, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Right.
But yeah, things like that where I was like, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would go. And I don't have much more time to do it, you know? Sort of like, I would say 3 years is kind of like where I'd be like, right, I'm out, you know? I cannot. You know, no Robert De Niro's and all those guys can do it, but like, I'm not having a kid. 60 is like, you know, I would say 55 is kind of the line where I'd be like, all right, I'm out.
it's funny with our daughter. So we were going to have 2 kids. And then when it came time, just sort of the natural, kids are usually 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years apart. When it was time for us to do it, we're like, we're so in the weeds. We're so underwater. We don't have any help out here. We're both just like doing this because we said we were going to do it. And so we're like, we don't actually, we wanted to, but it's not that I don't love my son. I can't see, I'm so overwhelmed with the one. I can't see doing it. So we decided not to. And then a couple years later, you get out of the woods, out of the weeds, and you go, that wasn't so bad.
It's like bringing the band back.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad. But the funny thing that I didn't know is, I honestly don't remember how the conversation came back around to, and our son kind of started asking about having a sibling. I think it was like September or whatever, and I remember my wife saying, I will try for a year, and then if it doesn't happen, then we just give up because they're already so far apart. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I'm sure she thinks I don't know. That sounds good to me. We got pregnant. The 2 times we pulled the goalie, we've got pregnant. We are a very fertile pairing. We got pregnant immediately when we pulled the goalie. She got pregnant right away, and she was telling somebody, she's like, yeah, and it's good that it happened because I told him by the end of the year or we're not doing it. And I was like, wait, that was like October when she's like, yeah, I told you by the end of the year. I was like, no, you said a year. She said, no, I said the year.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea that I was like absolutely I should have been like 4 times a day. I had no idea that January could have very well come around. She could be like, well, wasn't meant to be. And I'm like, what? But I thought I was pacing myself, woman.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's why my daughter's alive.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How do you make God laugh? Make a plan.
Yeah.
Life is what happens while you're making other plans.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying earlier. Like the firing. Dude, I love that I'm in comedy. Mm-hmm. I love it. And there's no way I would have done it if I was still on serious. Mm-hmm. No way.
Yep.
Like Sam tried to get me to do it. I was like, dude, I'll try, but like I just didn't. What was my heart into it? Like, did I ever sit down and write a joke before I went on stage? No.
Right.
Now I do it every day, and it's like the more I do it, the more I understand. It's the same as skateboarding, where you're just like, oh wow, I didn't even know you could do that, and then you get all excited about all these different things that you can do, and now being a stand-up comedian, and I'm like, wait, I had a live event. I had like several live events that people really liked. I could bring that in. I could do that with comedy. Like, I know comedians that would show up and be a part of that part and the other part.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, there's like a bunch of stuff where...
And that's the easiest live event to arrange because you don't need a band and you don't need gear and you don't need boxing
See the microphone.
rings. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
That and hip-hop.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that stuff. I rapped earlier today. Did a T.I. song.
How's your flow?
Zach, how's my flow?
It was atrocious and wonderful.
Well, that was really, that was quick response and pretty spot on. I agree. Yeah, because I was reading it too, so you know how I flow with the reading.
Why were you reading T.I. lyrics?
Because I don't know them.
Why were you wanting to know T.I. lyrics?
Because I said this one catchphrase. What you know about that? And I'm like, that's a song, isn't it? And Zach's like, yeah. I'm like, whose music is that? It's T.I.'s. Hey. What you know about that? What you know about that? You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of taste.
That's funny. I don't know. I don't feel like I know this song, and
we can't play it. But
so this is okay. I thought this is what I was working.
But we can hit it, Jason.
Oh, hey! What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? Hey, you don't know. I get keyed by the 3. When I chip, shouty, chip back, holla. Lewis, Snappy, wait, what? Knapsack,
Louis
where
knapsack.
I holding all the work at. What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? Hey, I know all about that. That'll do. I can't keep going. It hurts my brain to try to read. It's heavy lifting, dude. But yeah, that's just a taste. But that's like horse force. I probably do like Chanel West Coast. Ooh, I can do a Chanel West Coast cover of a cover.
Oh, that's great.
Because she
You could wear that dress.
She goes, bowling, shot calling. Dickhead.
Jason, you are to hip hop what T.I. is to stand up.
Ouch. But that is, dude, that guy. Did he quit stand up or is he still?
Quit.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
Dude, he did like 10-minute spots where he did 45 minutes.
Yeah, I remember.
Bomb.
Like the balls, dude.
I know.
Like just everybody there that's doing comedy, you're like, no, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
It takes a certain kind of
the ego is insane.
It takes a certain kind of person. I heard a story yesterday about, oh boy, a hip hop guy whose music is pretty explicit and pretty sexual. Somebody that he knew in my life's very extended orbit passed away, and it was like a lady and a mom, and it was tragic that she died, and he valiantly volunteered to perform at her memorial service, doing like many of his hits. And the people were like, yeah, could you begin to understand why that's deeply inappropriate? And he's like, but I loved her. I will come and do my hits. And they're like, have you ever been to a funeral? Has anyone close to you ever died? But there's just a certain kind of person that just sees the world revolving around themselves.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are many people who only understand the world revolving around themselves. A precious few get lucky enough that the world validates that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some crazy, terrible people out there who think the world revolves around them, even though they bring nothing to the table and have accomplished nothing. But when you've actually gone out there and then all of a sudden you have publicists and journalists and fans and chicks in your DM being like, no, the world does revolve around you, then it really sets in.
Wait, did T.I. retire from music or retire from comedy?
It says here that the context is that he was referring to all live performance. And the quote is, don't need money after the lawsuit. Don't need to hop around and sweat for their entertainment anymore.
I thought he was in it for the love of the game.
Nope.
Look, I think less T.I. in the world is a good thing. No disrespect to him, but shut up, you know? I don't care. When you have a video of you working out with baby shoulders, I can't take you serious.
And he had that whole album where he had to, it was basically like part of his plea deal for getting busted with a bunch of weapons, where he like made the album where he's like, I'm totally changed now. And it was like just him. It was a court order essentially.
Rubber Band Man was cool.
Yeah.
You know, for a second.
I like
Skateboarder, and you got, I had like, $200 to roll it up in a rubber band. I was like, thanks, T.I. I feel cool.
That's cool. I liked. I'm not totally proud to admit it, but I liked the remix of the R. Kelly song "I'm a Flirt" that he was on.
No,
It was R. Kelly, it was T-Pain, and it was him.
wow.
And yet,
Heavy hitters.
it was magic.
Yeah.
It was so good,
Wow.
so weird. Yeah,
Weirdly, like not like their stuff.
weird that R. Kelly is somebody that I would prefer to not enjoy music from, and I usually find that pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then T.I. didn't have a strong feeling about one way or another, but T-Pain is like the worst thing that ever happened to music.
Right.
And somehow T-Pain doing his weird auto-tune singing thing over an R. Kelly beat was like, it was triumphant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You see the documentary on Netflix of the neighbor lady that shot the black lady?
Neighbor lady that shot the black.
Shout out to Dave, $5. Holla at your boy, Dave. What'd he say?
Recovering from surgery, might fall asleep. That's our fan base. Just wanted to say thanks for the live show. We love Zach, love Tully, and shout out to Andrew Peacock, who is the other person I think who contributed.
Yeah, he's actually in chemo right now listening.
Oh wow!
On his last 2 treatments before.
Oh.
Yeah, because he beat it.
Yeah.
Good for you. I know
Suck
somebody.
butt cancer.
I know somebody who just started chemo. Congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah. Brutal. Absolutely. Wait, okay, so lady shot a lady.
It's like a documentary. Like they live in. It's not a trailer park. They're actual houses, but man, it's very similar to a trailer park.
I understand. So Was this like a celebrated case that the average person would have heard of?
Nah.
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
now it's big because it's on Netflix.
I see, yeah.
But it's like a community, a lot of kids, a lot of people having a lot of babies, not wealthy people. And the kids are playing a lot, and this one larger white lady doesn't like the kids playing, and she's like always complaining, and she put like like this is where my land is, private property, like a real C-bomb of a human.
Yeah.
And I guess she was calling the kids, she called the kids N-bombs sometimes and stuff. She like threw stuff at him. She was like there was a roller skate and it could have killed her if she had stood on it. Like stuff where it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
You cow.
Right.
And then I guess she cast or threw something at one of the kids, and the mum went over there, and the mum and this older lady, that they'd had their beefs, but she banged on the door, and the lady shot her through the door. And the way it was, where she was like, look, they're interviewing her, and she's not very remorseful, and she's like, well, I was raised, when people act a certain way, like that's when the N-word is like, necessary. She was explaining it in a way where I was like, wow.
Yeah, they're still out there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like a weird hatred. Because like my mom, I talked to my mom the other day, and she said she moved to Queensland from Melbourne, and she's like, yeah, I don't like Melbourne anymore. I was like, what's wrong with Melbourne? She's like, oh, it's gone to crap. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, a lot of house break-ins. I'm like, house break-ins? Wait, Melbourne it's crime riddled. She's like, yeah, it's crime riddled. I'm like, what? What's going on? She's like, I'm like, are you talking about like, is it like local people, or is it like, what is it called? People from other countries?
Immigrants.
Immigrants. I'm like, is it like an immigrant thing? She goes, yeah. It's Sudanese.
Oh.
And at first I thought she said Chinese, and I was like, what-a-nese? And she's like, Sudanese. And I'm like, because I thought she was saying it wrong. I thought she was just like, because people from Sudan, they're not called Sudanese, but I think they actually are.
They are, yeah.
And I was like, well, what are you talking about? Like, and she's like, yeah, they're breaking into houses everywhere. Like all the rich places now, the cops can't keep up with it, so people are getting private security.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, they're real tall and skinny, and they can jump high and they run fast. And I was like, Mum, that's racist. And she was like, what are you talking about? They're all skinny and they can jump high and run fast. Like, how's that racist? And I know my mum. She's not a racist person.
Yeah.
But when you live in a place where she doesn't know, because it's like, this is even more like, we're a bit when liberal saying things gets taken, like, if she said that here, people would nail her.
Yeah.
But she did not mean it in a racist way.
Right.
She's just an older lady that was like, yeah, they're all tall and they can jump high and they can run fast. And I'm like, Mom, here where I live, that's racist. And she's like, well, where I am, that's a thing that I've noticed.
Right.
And and she's like, I was like, you telling me there isn't a short, fat one?
Right.
Like, come on. And she's like, no, I haven't seen one. I'm like, okay. But it was like an interesting, I laughed because I knew it wasn't malicious.
No,
it did sound.
Yeah, no, I can
off.
remember, older members of my family being like, "Oh yeah, we were raised to believe that everybody was good and everybody was equal, and then so and so started working in that one neighborhood, and the way that they would treat him, like basically like we were open minded, but then." Your aunt or your uncle started working with him and they were terrible. And it's like, so that changed your opinion because he went to some crappy neighborhood? Like, it seems to me like people in crappy neighborhoods are really crappy. You find that kind of across the board. Again, America, as many people have said, has a race issue. A class issue masquerading as it's poor people are trashy, but a lot of people of color are at the bottom of the economic ladder here, and people get that mixed up because we've all been sort of taught to look at things through the racial lens.
Yeah. She also did say they came from a place where there's like, they live in a place where there's like murders and their crime level is crazy, so they don't really care what happens to them. They're like willing to risk it all.
But that's the thing, right?
And I'm like, well, that tells you,
Exactly. There you go. There's a class thing, but people are seeing it as a race thing. Because like I've actually been like I live in a very black neighborhood, and Like I love my neighborhood. I love my neighbors, and I like think back to when I was in New York, and I'm like, God, I always felt like everything was more like racially charged in New York. Like people were more apt to like get into arguments and disagreements and stuff. And I'm like, I think there was a massive class issue that a lot of black people in New York were, and Puerto Rican people were like poor. And then a lot of white people were like affluent. And so it was like you had this real class thing, but everybody insisted on looking at it as a color thing.
What have you got up here, Zach? A homicide rate?
He's saying that the Northern Territory has a high crime rate.
That's it. That, you know what's crazy about that is nobody's there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
But that's how you get... There's a small population of people, and let me guess, but proportionately the people who are there are poorer?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, there you go. Once again, here we have a class thing.
Yeah, nobody makes millions of dollars and moves to the Northern Territory.
Right. And if
Nobody
they did,
has a job in the Northern Territory because there isn't any... Nobody's buying anything. No one's there. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not selling tickets to Ayers Rock, which apparently now you're not allowed to take photos of Ayers Rock, which is crazy, but...
So I wonder why, I'm guessing if there's a bunch of... Were there... I'm guessing when you were a kid, there were not a bunch of Sudanese people?
Nah.
Right. So they've showed up more recently.
I mean, we did have immigrants. We had, like, Italian, Greek, and Lebanese.
Right.
That was a big thing.
So my question is, why is it specifically Sudanese? I'm wondering if it's a refugee kind of thing.
Yeah, I would guess the Civil War with
Right.
South Sudan would probably be...
So you have a bunch of people who grew up in a horrible, war-torn, impoverished situation that had a way out, but then they go to Australia, and it's not as if there's a bunch of seats at the table for them to like, oh, you're just in time. Here, you get to be the mailman, and you're the milkman, and They show up, and they don't feel at home. I'm sure some people make them feel welcome, but some people don't.
Yep.
And then they don't have economic opportunity, and it's just like, well, this just seems like great, you got them away from bullets whizzing by, but this is a problematic situation you've put them in as well.
Yeah, which just put the locals in a situation.
Exactly. Right.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like she mentioned a town, Brighton, which is like, you know, it's where the rich people live.
Yeah.
And she said Brighton, the houses get robbed constantly,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not enough police to stop it. I'm like, what do you mean there's not enough police? Like, saying people don't want to be cops there? Like, I was on, like, there was never... I was always, when I was a kid, being an Australian cop was like being a cop in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't doing much.
I know.
You know, because it was like, you know, like you were like busting me for riding a BMX with no helmet on.
Yes.
You know, and flattening my tires so I had to walk it home.
Dude, I grew up with a bunch of dudes, like went to school with them, played football with them, who are my age, give or take a year, who are all retiring from the police force in my hometown. And all those years that I was like, man, you didn't really do much. You literally never left the town. You just spend your day driving around this one little town. Boy, what kind of life is that? It's like, actually sounds pretty flippin' good now that you're not even 50. I don't think you ever took I don't think anybody ever shot at you in the last 25 years.
For sure.
And now you're retiring, but that's what it's like in the suburbs, you know, a nice, cozy little town that doesn't even have bars in New Jersey. I think they probably do have trouble getting qualified applicants for the LAPD.
Right.
Because they don't pay anything. I remember Chris Rock had that great joke about, you know, they pay them less than $30,000. You're wondering why they shoot other people. I'm surprised they don't shoot themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I think they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. That the people that got paid the most were the people that didn't have to do the most dangerous stuff in the police force.
Yes, it's
like Beverly Hills police get paid more than people that are in like Inglewood.
Yes, for sure. It's Beverly Hills and it's Culver City.
Which is crazy.
Which is La La Land. Culver City cops drive around with lollipops in their cop cars, so if they meet a kid, they can go over and go, just so you know, the police are your friend, and if you ever need... I mean, it's the greatest job ever.
Well, I think since the COVID thing, people do rob people more in Beverly Hills now.
Yeah, and not just Beverly
Hills. It's like
Hills.
Rodeo Drive and all this stuff where people go to restaurants and when they go to their car, they get destroyed. Like gunpoint. Give me everything you got.
Yeah.
They know that they've got stuff.
Yeah. No, and I know that like 2 neighborhoods over from me was always I'll never live there, but boy, wouldn't it be great if we could ever, you know, when you just drive through like, wow, Beverlywood. Oh, it's this great old neighborhood. And my wife knew somebody who lived there, had a house, was like kind of older, like should have just been settled, writing it out. And she's like, I had to move. We got robbed like 3 times in 2 years.
3 times in 2. That's insane.
It's so crazy.
Like 2 times. I'm like, okay, what's happening?
I can't sleep in a house like that, you know?
Yeah, that's why, man, when I go to Vegas, they're burner things, man. They're not
Boners?
burner.
Uh-huh.
They're
the
launching.
guns.
Yeah, they launched these pellets that I got shot by the other day. You don't want to get shot by.
I believe it.
Like it is super uncool, but they're installing it in my car, where it's just like under the seat. So I mean, next to the steering wheel, where I can just pull it out and go. And I'm like, man, you try to rob me in my car, you're not gonna do it. I'm gonna get you. They're really handy. I just feel like everyone should have one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if it's like everyone knows, because it's like having a gun. Man, it's tough. Like I gotta kill somebody. Like,
well,
I'm not really prepared to do that.
That's kind of how we got started here. Is you're talking about the lady who shot her neighbor through the door because there is that.
First of all, the burner wouldn't go through the door.
I'm guessing the kind of person who was raised that, well, when people act a certain way and they're a certain color, we use a certain word, are also the kind of people who are like, if you're going to come up to my house and you're going to bang on my door, you got to be prepared to deal with the blah, 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 blah.
It was also like they did the spoiler alert to it. If you're going to watch it, don't listen to this part. But like, they were like, you called 911 and then, because she's like, she was harassing me for like another 10 minutes banging on the door. So I thought she was going to kill me. And they go, well, since you called 911 and then since you fired the shot, it was 2 minutes total. So like,
yeah,
she wasn't doing what you were saying she was doing.
Yeah.
You wanted to kill her, dude.
Yeah.
Like you shot a lady because you're a prick. You're a crazy lady.
Yeah.
And you can just tell she's very mean and just like, she hated the kids. And I'm like, dude, if you hate kids to the point where you shoot their mom, like she's gone forever, dude. She had like 4 kids. You're like, and you're not remorseful. Like you're just, all she was worried about was being charged.
Yeah.
That's all she cared about. She'd do it again. It's like you and me, like, dude, shooting a gun through a door when you know who it is and they're complaining because you said something mean to their children and you shot a bullet through the door at them. You're an insane human being.
Who's outfitted with lethal force.
Yeah.
Not that you should ever be just randomly shooting people with anything, but if you had to and you used a burner, it would have just made a hole in their shirt and hurt them really badly, and then they'd still be alive, and you would just be charged with regular assault instead of murder. So,
well, I mean, they're legal to carry,
Yeah.
so that means I can have it in my car. I can pull it if you try to rob me. I mean, if you are justified for pulling it, like someone's trying to rob me or assault me, and I pull it, there's no charges, dude. You're in your right to defend yourself. If you go around shooting people for no reason, different story. But that's like going around punching people. Like, it's a different story.
Yeah, or stabbing people, right? Sure.
Yeah, but it's like someone trying to break in your house, like, because I have the rifle. The rifle, like, dude, I could tell. I gave the handgun to Jules, and her just waving it near me, knowing that I was going to get shot by it. I was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my anxiety was going up. If you're a random person, like, F you, lady, and she pulls that out, I'm not saying anything anymore. I'm out of there. Someone will be like, well, what if they have a gun? What if anybody has a gun? You get off first. They're not going to get, I mean, that's enough, It's like, I think my one's got, the handgun's got like, I think 8 shots. You got another clip on you. Like, dude, 8 shots, close range, I'm getting that gun off you. You're not getting a shot off. Like, the first couple are going to, you start shooting them in the face and in the neck and stuff. It's, the ones with the mace in it. Like, dude, I'm telling you, these things are scary and you will live, which is just like, everyone should have one.
I mean, 1 shot, no mace, took you to the ground at a 20-foot
It
range.
was a hard shot too.
Yeah.
It was like, hit me in the gut, took the wind out of me. Like, I was like, man. And then like a couple crack more in the head. I'm out, dude. I'm out. I'd rather get punched. I'd rather get hit with a bat. Like, those things, like, I've still got still a big hole on my stomach from it. It was like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
These things suck. But they're such a good idea to have.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I mean, it sucks that it's necessary, but yeah.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know how it is in Australia and Canada when it comes to those. Are they legal?
I could not tell you. I
don't know why, but I would think they're not.
I would guess that they're not. Let's see. Legality in Australia is complex and varies by state to state. In general, possession of items like tasers and batons is heavily restricted for civilians and often considered illegal without a specific permit. Some states may have exceptions for items like pepper spray. So yeah, I would guess that. I would think places that don't have gun cultures aren't really looking to carve out almost but not quite gun exceptions.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know, like at one point I would have said, well, why do you really need it? But at this point, if there is a huge amount of house burglar things going on, maybe changing the law where everybody can have those would slow. I don't know. I don't know if it would even slow anybody down. Yeah, I think some people just need the money that badly that they're just going to do it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't relate or put myself in that person's shoes, but if you feel like you have nothing to lose, then that's going to change the calculus for you quite a bit.
Yeah, because I feel like when you do get caught doing that, like, what is the charge in Australia for robbing someone's house?
I would guess it's at least a few years. Like, it's a pretty serious consequence, yeah. Also, right, like, young people, because I'm guessing this isn't 40-year-old people, right? Just... I was a well-raised kid who couldn't have had more of like a support social structure around me in terms of the way that I was raised and my family and my school and my community. And yet I took insane risks with my life. So I think we often don't factor that bit in. It's like, what would this person be thinking? It's like, they're 20. They're not. They're not thinking just as stupid as you were with the reckless things that you did to yourself when you were 20, as I did to myself when I'm 20. They're that reckless, if not more so, about committing these crimes because they literally, their brain is not fully formed and they are not able to game out the consequences.
Standard robbery is 14 years max.
Yeah.
Max, like aggravated robbery, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Robbery with a weapon or wounded. How much is that?
Life imprisonment.
Oh. Okay.
Is or pretends to be armed with a dangerous or offensive weapon. So you could literally say, back off, I've got a knife, and be lying. And that could be life.
I'm not mad at that. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Like you're robbing somebody and threatening their life.
Yeah.
They're just in their house.
Right.
Like, we don't need you.
Yeah.
I don't care where you came from.
Absolutely, sure.
I don't care if you're my neighbor and you're born in Australia.
Right.
Go to jail. Mm-hmm. Stay in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Leave us alone.
It's so crazy how, I don't want to talk about politics, but it's just so crazy how like the same kinds of problems seemingly are playing out everywhere all around the world at the exact same time. It really is sometimes enough to make you feel like you're living in a simulation, that you just like think that so many things are specific to your president or your policy or your border or your laws or whatever. And it's just like, no, Australia's got this and that, and they got their own guy with funny hair who's, riling up a bunch of people and is going to be their next prime minister, baby, or et cetera, et cetera.
Someone said that the burner is legal in, I'm assuming, Canada, but you can't carry it or have it in your car, which kind of like defeats the purpose, you know?
So only for home defense, essentially?
Yeah, well, I guess, I don't know. How crazy is car, what's it called when you...
Like carjacking?
Yeah, carjacking in Canada, Australia. Why is somebody sending me their passport?
That's a terrific question.
Oh, they're sending me Rick Fox's. A guy worked in the airline and he had Rick Fox's, found his passport on the plane.
Oh, like he had...
And he kept it, and he just showed me a photo of it.
Rick Fox had lost his passport?
Yeah, and that dude kept it. I'm not going to say his name.
No, of course not.
The only reason that happens because on Awesome One I was saying Rick Fox is fat now.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
it's always so disappointing to me when those guys get fat because they're so tall. They have such margin for error.
Yeah. How hard? I would assume drinking.
With him, I would definitely assume so.
I can't see it like he just eats so many burgers that he got fat.
So the counter argument, right, is that they develop eating habits because when they're athletes, they burn so many calories.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, not all of them are able to switch that off. I used to be able to eat 3 burgers and French fries and be fine, and they can't stop.
Okay.
Which I kind of get, but once again, you're like 6'7". You have so much room to put it. Like I saw
Jordan's got a bit of a belly.
But that's exactly what I was going to say. That video was going around of Jordan shot 1 free throw in some guy's backyard. And he was saying it was the most stress he's felt in years because he needed to make it in front of these kids. Jordan is like a respectable level of, yes, you're Michael Flippin' Jordan. Get a little bit of a gut. But he's still, put a tux on that man. That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, not Rick Fox did.
Yeah.
Rick Fox is like Charles Barkley.
Like, who was, in his defense, as a player known as the round mound of rebound.
Right.
Like Shaq to me is so offensive. You're gigantic. It would be so easy for you to not be that fat.
He fluctuates, but he is a little chubby.
Yeah, and also
being meatier, because he was a meatier guy.
So that's the thing. I can't really give Barkley a pass because Shaq was well known to be pretty gigantic for not so much with
skinny when he first started.
Not so much with the Magic, but yeah.
But he did fill out pretty quick.
He did, and he had some argument. I can't remember what it was. I think what it was is that he said he lost so much weight during the year that he, and whether or not you buy this, whether or not this is valid is a totally different story, but he did excuse himself recently, saying everyone talked about how I wouldn't work out over the summer and I would show up out of shape and play myself into shape, and maybe I could have played longer if I had taken care of myself year round. He's like, no, I did that on purpose because I would lose so much weight. I had to show up overweight.
Shit, right.
Yeah. He said the one time he showed up because Pat Riley with the Heat wouldn't let him do that. So Pat Riley had some number he had to hit. And he said, I showed up at the number for training camp and I got hurt halfway through the season. And it was actually because he didn't let me start fat. That was his story.
No.
I'm just, yeah.
That sounds like a guy that really wants to be fat.
That sounds like a guy who loves being fat. Yeah.
But also, if you are super committed for 2 decades, being athletical and not eating or having anything fun. So I think Ricky Carmichael, the GOAT of Supercross, he got fat for a while after he retired. And I'm like, well, he was like super disciplined.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Like he worked out Christmas Day. That was like a thing people talked about. Like Christmas Day, that dude would like have, the Christmas lunch or whatever, and then work out, do laps, like never took a day off.
Yeah.
Then when he retired, he got pretty fat.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I see that he's drinking.
Right.
I'm like, if you haven't drank the whole time you didn't party, and now you're retired, and now you're like, they want you to announce, I can drink beer and announce, like, why not? I kind of backed it. But even Ricky got back in shape.
Yeah.
Like he was like, all right, that's crazy. Now I'm pulling it in.
Yeah. Yeah. Kobe was the guy that, let it be known that he would take his kids to Paris Disneyland in the off season, and he was still up at 5 a.m. going to some gym and working out in France.
How do you think he would have gone if he had kept living and he retired?
I think
by now he would have been retired, right?
He was retired.
Oh, yeah,
he was retired for a while when he passed away. No,
he wasn't fat, was he?
I don't think he ever would have been
all?
fat. No. I think he had that vanity about him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, it's hard for me to imagine a LeBron letting himself be rotund.
Yeah. I don't follow basketball anymore, but I don't really he's annoying.
He doesn't have that it factor. Like we can argue the, whose statistics and championships add up to whatever, and it's all era, time specific, but Jordan was just one of one.
Yeah.
He's just the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He's not just the greatest of all time in basketball. He's the greatest of all time in all sports since I've been alive.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like, I'm not saying he's better than Muhammad Ali, but I'm not sure Muhammad Ali's better than him either.
Right, that is the only person that you could go, wow. But I also think that Muhammad Ali faced a rockier career, like being pulled from your career because you won't be in the military, and like the government coming at you
Sure.
for years, being a black guy in like a white era where, you know, like speaking freely about being persecuted in his community,
Yeah.
and being Muslim
Yeah.
openly.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have the internet, so he didn't have to read it, but people hated him, you know?
For sure. And then there was that whole extra dimension of, you know, Jordan was not a terrible interview, but he wasn't a good interview. And Muhammad Ali, it's been argued that Muhammad Ali invented rapping.
Yeah. He's the first person to do some poetry in an interview, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Poetry is rhyming.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was first, Muhammad Ali or Blondie? Okay, that's stupid. You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, but I also think fighting, you know, the amount of people that punched him in the head. I'm not saying basketball is not incredibly difficult
No, but it's
and
not
painful.
Yeah.
You know, like Jordan pushed through a lot of games where I'm sure he was very hurt. But like, you know, when when Ali got he got beat by Smoking Joe Frazier. He got knocked down, and it was a wrecking ball of a shot. Like, most people would not get up. He didn't get finished, dude. Like, he got up and he kept going. He was not home. He was like seriously knocked out, and he got up and kept fighting. And he's also from an era where it was like, they're not stopping the fight when you get hurt, dude. Like, now,
Yeah.
sometimes they stop fights where I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
one happened the other day.
Even the fighter sometimes is like, come
Yeah,
on.
everybody in the crowd's like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know? But those guys back then, nobody ever said, dude, how dare you stop the fight? It would be more like if someone in the crowd was like, oh, you know, even I watched the UFC this because you couldn't get the fight, you couldn't get it. ESPN did this weird thing, so I went to like a golf bar to watch it, and there was an eye poke for the heavyweight champion.
I saw about that, yeah.
And there was a guy at a table next to me, and he's like, "Oh, he quit. He's a bitch. He was losing," and he just kept saying it. And I said, "Shut the up, dude." Like, I was like, I had enough of hearing this guy that like clearly had never had a fight, never trained, and like to accuse a guy that's like, he is the best guy in the heavyweight division. He did not back out of the fight, dude. He got poked in the eye so severe that he couldn't see out of that eye. I just don't like hearing when people, you know, they know for sure that he backed out because he's a bitch. And I'm like, shut up, you know? Like, if you're going to say it once, great, but don't keep harping on it. You're pissing me off. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. You've never had a fight, and you definitely don't want to fight. I can assure you of that. Shut up.
Yep.
You know? Like, let the guy, he gave his whole life, dude. That guy's given his whole life to being the heavyweight champion of the world. If he can't see and you're fighting a guy that's like the same level as you and you got one eye, I'm not going to let you knock me out because I can't see. And whose fault is it that I can't see? It's the other guy's fault.
Yeah.
He shoved his finger, and it was like a stab of both fingers, both eyes.
No, I saw several stills.
And one time it pushed and pushed again.
Yeah.
It was two pokes in one. Yeah, I don't. Everyone's opinion of that is like, I get it. You know, it's the internet. Everyone can have an opinion, but you know, did he not? You know, did it look like he was in?
Yeah.
It was going to be a good fight. Like, could have he lost that fight? He could have. I'll agree to that. But you're talking about heavyweights, man. Like,
Yeah.
And did you see? Did he get hit? He did. Did any of them look like they hurt him? No, they didn't. No, they did not. He did not get. He had a blood nose. You think a blood nose is like the beginning of the end for these guys? Like, dude, Aspinall was not being finished by it was nowhere near being finished, and that guy has a shot that puts everybody to sleep. So to say that it was like he was losing, that's why he quit, is like you're an idiot. I don't know, I can't think of a better word for it, but you are an idiot. You're an uneducated idiot. He was not getting finished. It was nowhere near being finished, and it sucks that it ended like that, because it's like they were just starting to get going.
Yeah.
He's like, right, now I'm bleeding, now I'm coming in. I was like, did Cyril Gahn look better than everybody predicted? Yeah, he did. But it's also like, John Jones beat him, and, John Jones is like this level of wrestling that everybody else is not. And, Aspinall is from England. He's good, all-rounded guy, but like, you're from England. How great of a wrestler are you from England? You're not. You're talking about John Jones. You guys have wrestling school. You are children that wrestle. If you're in England, you did not wrestle as a child.
Right.
Like saying, there are guys in MMA now that, Australian guys, good wrestlers. They're not, when did Volkanovski start wrestling? It's like, oh no, he wrestled in school. Dude, it's not the same. There's not a wrestling thing in Australia where if you're a good wrestler, you get like a college education from it.
There isn't?
No.
Oh.
Maybe there is now.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to be clear about something because I feel like I'm being misunderstood. Kevin in the chat says, when I was 20, I never hurt anyone because I couldn't use my big boy brain. I find it frustrating when people assume what you mean by things.
Yeah, I don't even know. What does that mean?
That's in reference to what I was saying, if these like Sudanese guys or whatever are breaking into people's homes. Trying to understand something and excusing something are not the same thing, and it's something that everybody needs to get better at.
Yeah.
It's just like, why do they do it? Why do they do it? And it's just like, well, taking it for granted that your mom did not imagine that there have been a bunch of home break-ins, and at least some of them are associated with this refugee population. It's not about... Not to say, here's why it's happening and here's why we should feel bad for them, or they're the real victims here. Nobody said that. Nobody is saying that. It's just like, why do people do that? I said, well, I think maybe a part that nobody really thinks about is a lot of crimes committed by young people. And we know young people are reckless and do dumb things. I am not a reckless human being, but I was when I was a teenager. Yeah. You are not a reckless person, but you were when you were a teenager. Maybe that's a part of the puzzle that people felt. Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Well, because you're taking unnecessary, completely ludicrous risks that don't add up. That's a function very often of youth.
I'll take a shot at it. I probably shouldn't, but I will. Did you grow up, in a house where you didn't, if you did get food, if you had cereal, you never had milk because your parents couldn't afford milk, and you were raised to believe nothing's ever going to work out for you. You're never going to get anything. You're going to be in this little category where you suffer. And if you ever get anything, it's because you stole it. Because no one's ever going to give you anything. They're never going to give you a job. They're never going to give you a chance. You're never going to have any money. You're just not going to. Everybody around you has no money. They never get any money. The only person you ever met that ever had any money, he stole it.
And if you combine that with being taught that violence is a way to...
It's the only way you get anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to excuse anything.
I'm definitely not excusing. I'm just saying, like, as a guy that has met some people that have been in that situation, I have not, I've had some tough times as a child, but nowhere, I was always raised where it's like, you could be anything, And I think that there's communities out there that are raised where they're like, absolutely under no circumstance will you amount to anything. That's a fact. And when you know that, no, you don't think it, you know it. You are willing to do stuff, Like if everybody around you is like, I'm either eating or I'm in jail, and when I go to jail, they feed me. You don't know what that's like. I don't know what that's like, It's like, I know people in the military that, they got no legs, dude. They're young. They're young men who had their legs blown off and half their friends dead. Like, I don't know what that's like, And they're like, hey, man, how's your day? Good. How's yours? Really good. I don't know what it's like to say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really thankful that I don't. But
Yeah.
I also can say that I don't understand what it's like to live like that. And I don't know what it's like to be from a country where, these kids, we're talking about kids that are probably kind of in the military without being in the military. Their friends have been shot, their parents have been shot, that people shoot at them. They've maybe shot at people. And now they're in Melbourne with nothing. And everybody else has got like a Mercedes. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like, but I can kind of imagine robbing somebody. I can.
And yet, all of it having been said is not to excuse it.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
It's just to say,
I can see the angle of like, look, you make it to 40 and you're doing it and you're not on drugs. Because that's the other thing. Like, there were people before, immigrants in Australia, that robbed people's houses because they suck a dick for crack.
yeah.
There's some heroin or whatever it is. And you would do, if you get into the house and you get the money. There's a guy that robbed my cul-de-sac the other day. He was trying to get the converter things out of the car. And he was pinned. He was, he was addicted to drugs. And he was scared. When I saw him and faced him, he was scared. But he was desperately trying to get converted, get the money to get the hit, because the hit was all he could see. It's all he can understand. He's, like, if he had it another way, would he be the same? No, I don't think he would. If he was willing to do whatever he could do to get the money to get the hit. That's all he could understand. And I can understand, as a guy that's done a lot of drugs, being in that situation.
Right.
Right.
So it doesn't, maybe he is a bad person. Maybe he's always a bad person. Maybe his parents are perfectly nice people and they're like, that kid was just born a bad seed. But maybe he's not in his right mind. In the same way, it doesn't excuse anything, but maybe people don't rob houses because, well, the Sudanese.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, we're not justifying it.
Of course
we're
not.
Just saying, like, if you can't understand that, you're being a dick.
There's some app for
it's
people.
Also fun. Go for it.
There's some app for people to log their UFO sightings.
Yeah.
And
any good ones?
I mean, people are able to upload photos and videos.
It's going to be so much harder to believe now. Michael, I saw a video this morning of Jackie Chan fat dancing with Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel's a midget.
Mm-hmm. That's weird. So Jackie Chan got super fat and Vin Diesel shrank? This is crazy.
But that's what I saw the video.
Yeah.
It's a video of it's really happening. It is Jackie Chan.
Yeah, it's that compelling, yeah.
He's got a beer in his hand. He's very out of shape. He's got some pretty bad tattoos. And Vin Diesel is like 3'5".
Wow.
And he seemed pretty happy about it.
They're
both dancing. Yeah,
jolly little elf. I read today that Jackie Chan is a bad person and that there was some movie in, like, I think it was a Jet Li movie, and the director of the movie put some character in, and it was just supposed to be some random action star, some random Chinese action star that was a jerk, and they portrayed him as being really abusive to people on set and showing up drunk on the set and telling everybody he didn't use stunt doubles and then secretly using a bunch of stunt doubles whenever he could. And supposedly that guy had worked with Jackie Chan in the past and created this character as a way of, like, crapping on Jackie Chan, because that's what he found Jackie Chan to actually be like.
Wow.
Right? It's you could look it up. It's some Jet Li movie. It's just, and you could look up, that director had also worked with Jackie Chan in the past. And
Kevin's rebutting to you. Yeah, Kevin grew up with a drunk father that killed himself. Yeah, that's why you're angry and you're saying it, dude. It's not your fault. You had a really tough childhood, and that's why you're bitter and you say mean things about other people without understanding. And I get it. I'm super sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
That's like a thing again. Like, my dad did some stuff.
Yeah.
And it made me very angry, and it took a long time for me to get past it, and there were times in my life where I lashed out at people in crazy ways.
Yeah.
Because I was so mad at the things that had happened to me as a child. And it ain't fair, dude. What happened to you is not fair.
I hear what he's saying, but, like, I'm reminded of Bob Dole when he was, still running for president, took tobacco money, like he took campaign contributions from Big Tobacco, and they're like, how can you do that? Tobacco kills so many people and it's so addictive. And he was like, I smoked for years and then I decided I didn't want to smoke and I quit. And I found it that easy. And the implication was, if people really want to stop smoking, they can just stop. So don't tell me that cigarette companies don't give them a choice because their product is addictive. And I believe that Bob Dole just decided he wanted to quit. But I don't believe that. I think most people need help to quit smoking.
Yeah,
and I
see
think
people being annoyed by that because
rather than
find it very difficult.
Rather than treating every single person who can't quit cold turkey like Bob Dole, like they're scum and all they need to do is be like him. Cool. I'm glad that you did. I believe that you did. And I admire people who come out of tough situations and use it to inspire them to be an even better person than the average person. But like, I think to start your understanding of the world from walking a mile in other people's shoes, and not to take that to the illogical extreme of excusing bad behavior, just understanding it to start to deal with it. I mean, if that makes me a smug libtard, then cool.
Well, it's great to be live on YouTube so I can have tit for tat little arguments with people. But Kevin, why do I think you're bitter? Because you said that people that rob people should use their big boy brain. That seemed like a bitter comment.
So as I was saying, this UFO logging
You're great, Kevin.
app.
I have no
of course not.
ill will towards you at all, dude.
None.
We're just explaining our side of things, and nothing but love for you, dude. Yeah.
So the thing
Screw
about
people that rob people's houses.
of course,
Yeah.
yes, put them in jail. Yes, for sure. And if they use weapons, throw the book at them. Like
Maybe they can jump really high and they're fast. I don't know.
I'm sure some of them run very quickly.
That might bum out some people too, but whatever.
Yeah.
I also think it shouldn't be overlooked that Tully ran an Irish street gang in New Jersey called the Potatoes. They did
Right. I know of
very
what I speak.
All right. That was pretty. You guys were pretty heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty thick.
Yeah.
We ran most of southern Rutherford.
I knew a kid who was born just ahead.
This is Michael.
Wait, I used to say that.
Patreon member Michael is always on top of the...
Knew a kid who was born with just a head, no neck, no body, tough start in life, and guess what? He never robbed anybody in Melbourne. He's also never been there, but I think you can't hold that
There's a
against
joke.
him.
Do you know you guys that Rodney Rude, one of the greatest comedians in Australia, he had a joke that I remember right now where he's like, he had a friend and he's just a head. And he was like, I play darts. And he's like, how can you play darts? I'm going to murder this joke because I can't really remember it. It's crazy that I can remember the name Rodney Rude or anything that he said ever. But he said, now, he's like, now put the dart in my mouth. Now throw the fucking board at me. That was his friend that played darts, and that's how he played darts.
Nice.
That's a survivor. He was from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Maybe that's who Michael's talking about.
Yeah, they must have a mutual friend. So this UFO tracking app, more than anything, you can kind of see patterns and clusters, and believe it or not, more and more what people are reporting since this app launched, like, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 years ago, is not, you say UFO and UFO, it is an unidentified flying object, but what people are reporting a lot of is unidentified underwater objects.
Yeah, I've been seeing those too, but none of them are convincing to me that they're real, Michael.
Okay, so they're...
Every video I see, I'm like, maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah.
You know? Look at the lights. I'm like I said, Jackie Chan, fat, Vin Diesel, midget. Like, oh, wait, we got video? Yeah, that's what I saw. Mm-hmm. And it's a big light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That photo, I guess there is a video, and that's just a still from it.
Isn't it crazy that, like, I'm seeing that, and you haven't got a video, but maybe you do, and you do play it. I don't go, well, that's it.
Yeah.
They're here, dude. They're in the sea.
So go back up. You see that this is what I'm referring to, is just the number of USOs, unidentified submersible objects
Yeah.
all along the coastline. And there have been these videos, right, of UFOs that went into the water, I'm led to believe, at such a speed that they should have, like, no man-made aircraft should be. First of all, we don't really have aircraft that can just fly into the water and have that
As
turn
far
out
as we know.
turn out okay for them. Yeah, right. But that
The military could already have it.
they could, yes. But man, at this point in time, the military can't be 300 years ahead of humankind unless they got their hands on alien technology, you know, like in a Marvel kind of way, and reverse engineered it, right?
Well,
Like,
what about this, Michael? We went to the moon, and we landed on the moon, and then we took off from the moon, and then they came back, and now apparently we can't go to the moon anymore. Like, it's super hard to go to the moon. What if what if we actually? Because I believe we didn't go to the moon now.
Okay,
I believe it's fake.
you do.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm like, you're right. It doesn't really add up.
Have you asked why that is the case? Why is it that we could do it and we can't now, or we did do it and now we won't? Or?
I haven't done any research.
Okay.
But it is weird that we don't go to the moon all the time now. And we went to the moon in was it the 60s?
Yes.
That's crazy. You're saying we don't just have like a space station at the moon by now?
Right.
It's pretty lame. If we already went there, landed there, took off, and now nobody goes to the moon just for like.
Just for the halibut.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we? You know,
Right.
why can't we get ships that go to the moon now after we did it so long ago? Here's why I don't believe it. Because there was video of us being there, and we were like, it was a live feed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did we have a live feed of us on the moon in the 60s? And now, like, can you do that now? Can you get a video of you live in the moon?
I think they had live video of the Mars rover. So we had live video from Mars.
In the 60s or now?
Now.
Wait, now we can do it. Which I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
live feed.
I didn't watch
Seems like it'd be choppy.
I didn't watch the. Well, I mean, it was going on for months, I think. I didn't watch the Mars rover video, and now I kind of regret it. I know, obviously, there's probably endless footage of it online, but it's less fun now that it's not live. But they just had some little, like, Roomba going around on Mars, and just whatever it saw was broadcast. People were watching it live.
Right.
That's way further away. I'm led to believe. I defer to experts, and there's plenty of experts who, like, I don't hear a lot of people who I think are in a qualified position to say the moon landing was faked, who say that. Everybody whose opinion seems like it should add up to something seems to be a broad consensus we did go to the moon. I just thought it cost so much money, and nobody, like, NASA's just lost. Once we did it, people were like, well, nobody's all that excited about doing it a second time, and NASA just doesn't have the money to do it again. Although we are, right? Like,
Yeah, well, they have the money. Giving a bunch of that money, giving enough money to other countries.
no. But I'm not saying the money doesn't exist, but that NASA's budget.
Right, I'm just saying, like, the government could be like, instead of giving Israel $1 billion, they could just be like, here, go to the moon again.
They could. They don't.
Or both. They could do both, really.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, when you're now worth $38 trillion in debt, you could go to the moon and give Israel money and give everybody some Velveeta. Like,
Yeah.
you could do anything once you're
And
comfortable.
we're making money.
Once you're comfortable being,
How much does Elon have right now? Is it 800 billion?
maybe he doesn't have a trillion, but yeah, he's got many.
But if he has
hundreds of
$800 billion dollars,
yeah,
then he could go to the moon. He has $480 billion.
yeah,
Dude.
right. On
Look, I
paper,
don't
yeah.
understand how the world works.
Right.
But if you have $400 billion, could he not just fix the financial situation for, like, housing?
Not really.
You couldn't, right?
No, the problem
Because
is
they just ruin it again anyway. If you
No,
gave him
but
a house, they'd just walk out.
just do the math. Like, if he, first of all, his wealth is, like, on paper. He would need to sell
right.
a bunch of
Yeah,
stock.
it's his assets.
And if he made all that stock available, I think it would sort of necessarily
Right, so he doesn't have 800. He doesn't have 400 billion in the bank.
No,
in cash.
and that's why. And I'm once again, when I say reasons for things or excuses that are given. It does not mean that I agree with them. I'm just offering.
Kevin.
I'm just offering. It's not Kevin. It's absolutely everybody. Like what they'll say about why don't billionaires pay taxes and stuff is they're like, well, very often my worth went up or down, but I didn't cash any of that out. And it's just like, if you're going to...
because otherwise his taxes would be crazy right now.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they don't exploit a bunch of loopholes as well, but, like Mark Cuban has made the point, okay, so this year my net worth went up 30%, so you want me to pay taxes. Well, next year, if those same stocks go down 20%, are you going to give me a bunch of money back? Yeah. No, you're not going to. So I'm just... understand that maybe there is a reason the way that it is, but let's just say,
don't hate the player.
Elon Musk, what's 500 billion divided by 300 million? Is it about 2,000? Can we run that real quick?
Yeah, sure. Say it again.
500 billion divided by, and I'm saying there's about 300 million Americans. Or is it 20,000?
Americans? It's 100 or...
No, there's 300 million. That's what I'm saying. I think it's million. So I'm saying if he just took his money, every last penny, and just divided it by each person and gave it away, it's not getting everybody a house.
Well, I don't want to... You don't give it... Not give it to people that have a house.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, like, if you gave it to... I mean, honestly, I think, like, if you get... Education is, like... I think if you give money to the homeless, they're going to be homeless in a couple of years. Not everybody.
It's very challenging. Honestly, it's very, very challenging to figure out how to make your money. And I believe that Bill Gates and Melinda Gates are like honestly trying to make their money have the greatest possible impact.
And what do they do?
I mean, I think, have done a lot to eradicate diseases that we don't even worry about for our kids here that are still killing kids in other parts of the world.
Oh, they're helping the other world out?
I think they're helping everybody. I think they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they do U.S. and international philanthropy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're saying,
I think they should make more skate parks.
Yeah.
I think that's more important.
You know how many skate parks you can make with if he took $1 billion out of that $484 billion?
Thank you, Zach. Now we're talking.
Okay, so I think I did. Oh no, wait, that's fine.
$1 billion in skate parks in America. I don't really care about the rest of the world. I care about America. Yeah, like if you can't skate in other countries, good, because we need to win the X Games. America first. Kevin, you with me? You got to be, Big Kev, on that one. Is Kev? Well, I can't see the chat. Is he talking?
With all the money we spend on foreign affairs, we could pay reparations and build infrastructure in the U.S. I was not expecting reparations to come from Kevin.
Wait, we're giving money to the blacks?
No offense, Kevin.
Assuming he's a racist?
You know.
That's kind of what you're saying, right?
I was, a loose guess.
I didn't think that, Big Kev.
I didn't say racist. I just said didn't agree with reparations. That Venn diagram does close.
Wait, so he's saying give money to black people?
Well, I guess we should ask him what he specifically means by reparations.
It's your show, Kev. You've done the floor is yours.
He said I like it.
Money to the blacks?
I'm not sure which thing he's referring to, but he said I like it.
Does reparations mean anything else?
Lee said reparations for what?
Yeah, not that when we say reparations in America, it's
for black people, right?
Yeah.
Well, Canadians have some reparations for the native population that they did stuff to.
Sure,
I believe.
Yeah,
but
it's too late for them.
I think they actually did that though. Canada.
Yeah, it's too lait for them.
for Native Americans, Indians.
It's not. I always remember when we were doing some like volunteering thing, and they were saying where we were like cleaning out invasive weeds or whatever in Malibu, and the guy was saying, yeah, this is like land for like the Tongva, who are the local Native Americans here.
Oh, yeah?
And he was like, R is, and I'm like, wait, they're still around here? He's like, well, not many, but yeah. And he's like, our final transgression against the Native Americans is we basically eradicated them and then started talking about them in the past tense. And they're like, hello.
Okay.
Tongva guy. They have a thing. We tried to go. It was so crowded. We were waiting for a shuttle bus. I brought 3 children. I don't know what I thought it was going to be this little like drive up. There'd be 20 people there. It was gigantic, but it was literally the powwow annually, all of the tribes that are in the area come together and have this great big meetup with like food and dancing and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'll bring the kids. We'll learn a little bit about the culture. And like, it was such a thing. We couldn't, I was like, I can't wait all day.
A bunch of white people wanted to go?
Yeah. And a bunch of native people. And it's hard to tell the difference, right? Because you could easily meet somebody.
You could be half and half.
We got some people in our listening community who like, you don't read
like
them
a mulatto.
you don't read them as such, and then they tell you, and you go, "Oh yeah, I guess I would have thought you were like Mexican," or but yeah. Now as you say that, I could see that. I believe you.
Well, Mexicans are Indians.
Some.
Right. Well, it's you were here first. It was your land.
Some. There's Mexicans who are
rival.
Primarily,
I watched some Netflix thing. Rivals. I don't know what it is, but it's a weird thing where my girlfriend has asked me this twice now. She's like, "Is this the what is it when America fought America for like slavery?
Civil War."
Yeah, is this the Civil War? And I was like, no. I'm like, why do you keep saying that? You're like you're the person in the room that has an education. Like you did it all. And I know that like if we're killing Indians, it's before we had that fight. Because we came here, we fought the Indians. Then when we conquered the Indians, then we fought each other so that we could have more black people as slaves. Not exactly, but that was part of it. It was also I'm Confederate versus what, libtards or something? I don't know.
It was
versus the Union.
Yeah.
The Union, right. And Confederacy lost, right?
That's right.
Right. But it was like the main fight. I don't believe the fight was like Confederate people were like, we want black slaves. And the Union was like, no black slaves.
That's exactly what it was.
No, it wasn't.
Historically speaking, yes, it was. The argument was over states'
but you
rights.
got a lesbian mom.
No. None of that. None of that.
Covered by
none of that. I know history. I'm telling you, this is not a liberal. This is not a liberal versus conservative talking
I thought
point.
that Abraham Lincoln said that his primary goal was preserving the Union,
Absolutely.
and he was okay with anything goes as long as he could preserve the Union. That doesn't sound like a guy whose primary goal was eradicating slavery.
See?
Right. Yeah, it wasn't his goal, but the South's main talking point where the split came, they said states' rights, and then when you say states' rights about what, it's about slavery.
I think we can all agree they had the better flag. Is that crazy?
Yeah, no, they did.
But
Because
like,
Panther, that car.
dude, show me an American flag card that looks as good as the General Lee.
You're right. You are right. Are you allowed to admit that, Zach? You fucking lesbian.
Dude, that car, I feel like it would be an optical illusion, a flying flag. Would like fuck with your eyes.
Wait,
like
Kevin had a point. I'm gonna go into Kevin.
I feel like an American flag car would just look like a giant Budweiser can.
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Thank you.
They kind of got it, but depends on if they.
Oh, about the land rights for natives.
Oh, he wanted to give the money to the natives,
They kind of
not the blacks.
I think he was referring to when I was talking about the land rights or the reparations for natives.
Right.
Right.
And he's saying give African Americans reparations. He's saying give it to the Indians and the blacks. And I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm for Elon Musk giving
Hell yeah.
$1 billion to the blacks and $1 billion to the natives.
I mean, that's not going to go. It's like pocket change by the time you divide it by that population.
Well,
Is it?
Yes.
The way they've done some
$1 billion
documentaries.
each?
Okay, so look. I mean, yes.
There's a lot more blacks. So let's say $5 billion to the blacks.
I mean, do you think Elon Musk, who grew up in apartheid South Africa, is going to be on board with this?
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying if he did it, I'd be like, hell
So
yeah, man.
if ChatGPT, I said divide 500 billion by 300 million, and ChatGPT, if it can be trusted, said if he distributed that money equally to Americans, which I understand is not what you're advocating for, everybody would get $1,666.
Well, and this is why there's been documentaries about this, and they've proposed to use the money for the correct programs and stuff instead of trying to give people direct cash or something, because that would obviously be chaos. The best thing to do would be to invest the money into programs that would be helpful to people that would be in need of reparations. So, like, if for years there wasn't loans given to black people because of racism, then obviously you would like implement something to help.
Kevin said we just gave $20 billion to Argentina. Right, that's it. I've never been in more agreement with Kevin in my life.
He's right.
Give 100 billion to the natives. Will that move the needle, Michael?
I don't think so.
Son of a bitch. We're fucked, Big Kev.
But if you invested in programs with that money instead of just handing them a bunch of cash, then you could potentially do some good.
Wait, $1 billion would give every black person $22.
And that's why you don't give them. You don't just hand out cash. You like try
Right.
to make the world a better place.
But my point is, the problems,
We're fucked, Big
the
Kev.
challenges that we face are beyond the scope of even the richest individuals. Government is the only.
We should just smoke weed and fight.
Yeah. The government's
It
annual.
always comes back to that.
The government's annual, but well, no. Look, and I do not even pretend to know what we should do about our problems. I don't
Tell you what everybody should do, Michael.
What's that?
They should subscribe to our Patreon.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Patreon.com/AllisMate. It's under $1 a day. And that satisfies all the natives and all the blacks.
I think
It might
Elon
fix-
Musk should buy everybody
a Patreon
a
subscription.
Patreon
Oh,
subscription.
Absolutely.
If
Because
Elon
that he
Musk
could actually swing pretty easily.
yeah,
gave
$5.
everybody in America a Patreon subscription to this show,
Yeah.
I would be so happy. That's really all that matters.
I mean,
We have to get rid of a couple of clips, but
Oh yeah, nah. Battery cars, love them. There you go. I would drive a Cybertruck with a giant Confederate flag on it.
dude,
And I would have the horn installed. And then when that happened, the Comedy Store would make me a paid regular, and then I would park that obnoxious shit pile in the parking lot right next to Jeff Dye's. Man, he got a fucking giant white Cybertruck that he parks in the back of the Comedy Store. He
a
is-
white one. Wow.
Yeah, you get it? Yeah.
Oh, good time.
He's a good guy. I mean, I think he is. I don't know. But we got to go, Michael.
we do.
We've done a lot of shows, and we're going to do a lot of shows tomorrow. We're going to do this show, the Jason Ellis Show, live on Patreon, patreon.com/EllisMate. Also, if you want to get tickets to my comedy shows, I'm in Vegas, November 6th, thejasonellis.com. You can also get signed skateboards from myself and Tony Hawk, and this t-shirt and a hoodie. All available on the website. And tomorrow I'll be recording Jason Ellis 2.0 live on YouTube as well. Did you hear that, Zach?
Yeah.
It's going to be live on YouTube. The Jason Ellis Show is not going to be. But I'm going to do my first ever time, the Jason Ellis Show 2.0, live on YouTube that will end up being a podcast.
There it is.
Word up.
And then I'm going to do a new show live on YouTube, and that's coming shortly. So I'm going to be doing a lot of live shows.
And after this, you could do some ad reads with me. Yay.
Truck, yeah.
All right. Don't die.